Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Saratech Enablement session. My name is Rebecca Stuchet, and I am a customer care representative here at Saratech, and I will be your host. Presenting today, we have Daniel Rubio, who is a Senior Applications Engineer, and he'll be talking to you about getting support for your Siemens PLM software.
Thanks, Rebecca. As she said, my name is Daniel Rubio, a Senior Application Engineer. I've been with Saratech, finishing up my 9th year, actually. I got my bachelor's and master's degrees from UCF in mechanical engineering. And in my 9 years here at Saratech, I've been focused mainly on Solid Edge, FEMAP, as well as SimCenter 3D, Flow EFD, Nastran, and Motion. So mainly CAD and analysis, as you can see. So the agenda for today, we'll be going over Saratech's support site and as well as our YouTube channel that Rebecca just mentioned. Then we'll look into a Siemens website. So a few months ago, they actually completely overhauled the support center. Now the old site is still accessible, and actually the licensing is still done through the old site. So I'll take you through those different pages as well as a few other sites on there, such as the documentation, and also the communities that Siemens has. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, let's talk about Saratech. So our website for support is simply saratech.com/support. So this is a live link here I have in the PowerPoint. So I'll simply click that to open it. And this is what you'll see. So this is just one of the pages directly on our main website. You can see here at the top bar, there's a link for the support page, which you see here. And this outlines the 3 different methods that you have to submit a support case to us. So you can simply fill out your information here, name, company, email, description of your problem, and so on. And of course, the standard I'm not a robot, CAPTCHA, security check. So that's one method, and that will automatically submit a case to our support team. Now, the second method is to call us, of course, 949-481-3267. You have a few different options, of course, that you can press depending on what exactly you're trying to get help with. And the third option is, of course, email, probably the most popular, but you can just shoot an email over to support@saratech.com, as you can see there. And of course, standard information, your name, company, the problem you're having, the software, so on and so forth. And again, submitting an email automatically creates a case in our system, so the whole team gets it and it's routed appropriately. Okay, and by the way, as Rebecca mentioned, this is a live webinar, so if you have any questions, feel free to, I'm not sure if we can unmute yourselves, but just submit it in the chat and Rebecca will see that and pause me and I can address any questions on the fly or at the end as well. We'll save a minute or two for any questions. But that in a nutshell is the Saratech support side. So it's pretty simple, straightforward, as you can see. Now, the second thing I wanted to show is our YouTube channel. Now, our website, saratech.com, does have a good amount of our videos, well, probably all of them actually, but it's probably easier for most people to just go on YouTube, right? I mean, I think we all use YouTube from time to time. So here you can see our main landing page, Saratech. Across the top, you can see all the videos. You can see different playlists we have, the community channels, and so on. So for the most part, what you'd probably do is go to the playlists tab, as you see here, and then you can filter down, okay, do you want to look at FEMAP videos, Solid Edge videos, 3D printing, NXCAM, so on and so forth. There's also a playlist for the CES sessions. So this exact session we're in right now, this customer enablement series, there's a playlist for all of those videos. There's also a tips and tricks. So even if you navigate into any of these more specific playlists, for example, FEMAP or Solid Edge, just also be sure to check the tips and tricks. Those tips and tricks are much shorter videos, maybe probably no more than 5 minutes. Those are short videos that give you little hints. So be sure to check out that playlist as well. Okay, now that about wraps it up for Saratech's website. So now let's talk about Siemens websites. As I mentioned before, they completely overhauled the support site. So I'll take a look at and show you all through the old and the new websites. And on those sites, we'll see how we can download software, manage licensing, access the documentation for the different products, and of course the communities. Now I have this link here, and the reason is this is, I would say, the main landing page that you should definitely save as a bookmark in your browser. So this is the main page. Oh, sorry about that. My screen is doing something crazy here for some reason. There we go. So I'll click that link, and as you can see, let me close out these other tabs. This is the main Siemens PLM website. Now at the top here, there is a support link, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom of this page, there are a few other links, which are the ones that I pointed out in the slides that I'll be going through. So I'm just going to open them all right now so I don't forget any. So for example, product documentation. Let me just open that as a new tab actually. I'll open up the community as well. And that's it for now. So if I click this Get Support, this actually takes me what used to be the support site. So this big banner here across the top tells you take me to the support center. So this is the new site. So if I were to click this take me there, I'm going to open that as a new tab. This is the new support site. Okay, so I'll get back to that in a minute. Let me just go get back to the main support page here. Again, this is the older support site. So as you can see, there's a download legacy products link here. And that's because the new website is where you really want to be, unless you are looking for an older version. Now the new website still has the current, of course, and the last few previous releases. But if you need, even older versions, then you may want to check here. Now, one thing I do want to mention on this page is the hardware and software certifications link. So this actually has some useful information for certifications, and the one important one that I want to mention is here near the top actually. It used to be near the bottom, but it looks like they've moved it near the top here. And it's this graphics card certifications. We definitely get a lot of support questions and cases regarding graphics cards and machines. So this is a very useful document that Siemens updates every month or two with the new graphics card driver versions and things like that. But if you click that, what it does is it will download an Excel document, as you can see here. So I will fire that up, and it may look a little daunting the first time you see that. Let me drag that over to this screen here. And this is the Excel spreadsheet that Siemens, as I mentioned, updates every month or two. Now this first tab sheet that it defaults to is the certification matrix. So this shows you all the different vendors and machines and the different graphics cards and OS versions and the latest driver version that's certified. Now there's another tab here called supported graphics. So this tells you all of the machines and graphics cards actually here that are technically certified and supported. Now these lists aren't fully exhaustive, of course. These are just the ones that Siemens has partnerships with, and they actually go through and test and certify. This definitely doesn't mean that a regular machine that you buy won't work. Now, if you're doing high-end models, very complicated models, you'll definitely need a more powerful machine. But this is definitely a good starting point. And then one other sheet I'll mention here is the supported systems. So the supported graphics lists, of course, the graphics cards models. And the main two lines, as you can see, are the AMD FirePro, which they recently, let's say, maybe it's been a year now, but they renamed the FirePro line to Radeon Pro, and the NVIDIA NVIDIA has the Quadro line. So those are the two professional engineering level graphics cards. And again, going back to the supported systems, those are the actual machines, both desktops and laptops that are supported or certified. Okay, so I did just want to mention that one hardware document and link from the older site here. One other thing I'll mention, but I won't really show the licensing since that's of course going to be completely dependent on what you have. But this license management link, that is still what even the new website, it's eventually going to route you to this page anyway. So just keep that in mind. And with that, let's start looking at the new website. So if you have not seen it, this is what it looks like. It has all of your products. Of course, you won't see all of these. These are, of course, Saratech's and everything we support. But if you had Solid Edge and you navigated into that product, you would see this. So you can see there's getting started information, learn and explore, there's troubleshooting, all these different sections to get you support. Now, one of the most important ones is, of course, download. So this is what the new download site looks like. So what you'll see is two tabs. So on the left is major releases. So from here you filter, okay, I want to look at Solid Edge 2020, the latest right now, or Solid Edge 2019. And then you have older versions here as well. Now, once you have the correct version chosen, then you can see this Solid Edge 2020 here. That is the main installation. Then you have a separate folder here for maintenance packs. So if you click that, notice it'll take you to this page where you can see maintenance pack 1 through 10 right now. 10 is the latest and greatest. And if I'm sure most of you are aware, but these are all inclusive. So if you haven't installed any maintenance packs, you don't have to worry about doing them in any order. You just go straight to the latest MP10, and that'll include everything that came before it. Now, once you're in this page, you can actually use this drop down to filter any of those other sections on the previous page. So notice portfolio, that will include all of the add-on portfolio products. So things like electrical, flow EFD, plant design, PCB, so on and so forth. The add-ons, that has a few other parts to the installation. So if you're setting up data management, team center, standard parts, things like that, this is how you navigate to those downloads. For example, clicking standard parts, that will show me all of these, of course, different languages as well. But this will be how you download the machinery library, the piping library, the quick setup, the administrator, so on and so forth. And lastly, 2020 is, of course, just the main download. So clicking English here, this will be the main overall Solid Edge 2020 installation. Okay, let's see. So I talked about the old website, the new website. Now you will notice there's a documentation tab here. So over time, this new support portal is definitely going to be the all-in-one. So as you can see, this documentation tab has a ton of information, lots of links. You can even filter the version here in the top right. You have categories, components here on the left, so many different ways to filter down and get you the help you need. Now, one thing I wanted to show is this documentation center that I linked or that I got to from the initial landing page when I first started. Now, this documentation center has slightly different help pages. So if I scroll down to, for example, SimCenter, let's see, SimCenter 3D, 2020.1. So notice here, these are all separate links for the different help. So notice here, if I click help, that takes me to the help documentation for SimCenter 3D. Now going back, notice there's a separate link for the what's new. There's a separate link for tutorials for SimCenter 3D and all these other links you see here. All right, here you can see for Solid Edge, this will link me straight to the documentation. Of course, you can definitely save this as a bookmark to get straight to here. Now, you honestly don't even really need this one, to be honest, because if you click F1, or if you press F1, I'm sorry, on your keyboard in Solid Edge, FEMAP, NX, most of these programs, F1 is going to be a context-sensitive help command. So if you're in a command in Solid Edge, let's say thin wall, or let's say you're in FEMAP and you're doing a mid-surface, if you press F1, that will take you straight to the help pages for that command. Okay, but this documentation center does have all of these links on this single page, which is actually very nice. Okay, let's close up some of these pages. And just about the last thing actually is the communities. So this, again, I got two from the main Siemens PLM landing page that I do have linked in the PowerPoint slides. So feel free to jot that down. Now this is, again, the overall Siemens community website. Now what you'll notice at the top is you have topics. So this topics drop down lets you choose the product basically. So you can filter down to SimCenter. And once you're in SimCenter, you have additional filters, of course. System simulation, CAE, you have testing. So if I click CAE simulation, notice I have SimCenter 3D, FEMAP, SimCenter Nastran, Flow EFD. So all the different SimCenter products right here. Now, if you're getting a little bit confused, just keep in mind SimCenter is just the overall umbrella name for all simulation products in the Siemens portfolio. So SimCenter again is just the overall group of simulation products. So that's why under the SimCenter group you see all of the actual simulation products like FEMAP, like SimCenter 3D, which used to be called just NXCAE or the pre and post. You also have Flow EFD, SimCenter Nastran, formerly known as NX Nastran, right? So just keep that in mind. SimCenter is just the overall umbrella name for all of these different simulation products. All right, so let me go back, maybe go back one page and show you the Solid Edge, of course, very popular. So under here in Solid Edge, notice you have a user-specific page, developer. You have a quick link to the Solid Edge portal, and so on and so forth. And as you can see, it's basically a forum. So pretty straightforward to navigate. You can, read through all of these posts. You can add questions. You can add answers. Many different things you can do here. Now, if you switch over to the Knowledge tab, these are more helpful posts, right? They're not really, questions and answers. These are, if you're proud of something you figured out, or you have a fancy method of getting something done in Solid Edge, well, this is where you would see some of the Siemens folks posting things there. As you can see in all of these community articles, and some of these can even come from all of you, all of the users actually. All right, so as you can see, these communities have tons of information, so please do check that out if you haven't already. Save those bookmarks. Anytime you need some help, or you're just looking for information, maybe exploring some new methods to get some design and analysis done. All right, and I think that about wraps it up. So let me get back to the slides here. So in summary, we looked at the Saratech Support website and YouTube channel, and do keep in mind, Saratech, we are your first line of support. So if you call Siemens directly, they probably will tell you, Saratech is your support partner, so please reach out to them, and they'll probably still help you out if it's something quick. But if it's something that might take a little bit more time, they'll probably be referring you back to us. So just do keep in mind, we are your first line of support. But if we do need to get Siemens involved, for example, if it's a bug that needs to be reported to development or anything like that, we can easily and quickly get them involved as needed. And again, I showed you all the 3 different ways to submit support cases to us via email, support@saratech.com. You can call us at 949-481-3267, or directly on our support website. As I showed you, can just fill out the information there and submit it that way. I also showed you our YouTube channel, which has different playlists where you can browse all of our videos, tips and tricks, things like that. And lastly, I showed you through all of the Siemens websites. So I showed you the older landing page, which has different links to the graphics and hardware certification document, as well as the new download site. And the licensing, just FYI, that will still route you to the old site that's still getting converted over. All right, so with that, I'll hand it back over to Rebecca to wrap it up.
Thanks, Daniel. Thank you all for joining us today. If you're ready to take it to the next level, Saratech actually offers much more than just software. We have a wide variety of options for training, services, and 3D printers. So if you have any questions regarding that, you can email us at marketing@saratech.com. And please be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook for any upcoming webinar dates and topics. Thank you all for joining us today, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw, make sure to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest engineering news and information. And to see all of our upcoming events, please visit our website at saratech.com/events.